Hello to everyone. Usually, when we deal with Excel, we try to find exact numbers or concrete answers to specific questions. But from time to time, we also need to operate with random numbers and create some sets of random elements. Today we will cover the list of random numbers. From that we will progress to the list of random elements, and at the end I will show you how to check the level of randomness Excel provides us with. Without further ado, let's start. The first subject on the list is random numbers creation, and we will start with a simple formula rand, which creates a random number between 0 and 1. The formula goes without an argument, and now we need to copy the formula. As you can see on the chart, all the numbers are exactly between 0 and 1. Important element, a random formula is volatile, which means that whenever there is any type of change in Excel document, all the numbers will be recalculated. For instance, we want to put just 1 in random cell. As you can see, all the elements are recalculated. The same will happen if you simply push recalculate formula, which is F9 in Excel. If you need to save the values, just copy them to the other place. Let's go to the next step in our journey. Now we want to create not the random values between 0 and 1, but random values between two predefined numbers. In our case, it's 2 and 12. We can do it in two ways. First approach is based on the same formula rand. So we go rand, we multiply it by higher number, don't forget to log all the numbers, minus the lower number, close the bracket, plus the lower number. The first number is created, and if we expand the formula, you will see that all the numbers are exactly in between 2 and 12. Of course, if you put refresh a few times, you will get different numbers. Importantly, when you work with the rand function, you always get real numbers. If you want to do the same exercise but only with the whole numbers, you need to use a bit different formula. And in this example, we use the formula rand between. We just need to select as a first argument the starting point, and as the second argument the end point. Now we copy the formula. The result is almost the same, with only one difference. The output represents only the whole numbers. And if you're looking for a Swiss knife of random formulas, this is the formula rand array. Let's see how it works. Rand array formula creates the one or two-dimensional array of the random numbers with a certain parameters. Let's see how it works with the same example. First two parameters define the size of the output array. In our case, it's 20 and 3. Then we go into the minimum and maximum number. So let's select our numbers 2 and 12. Don't forget to log them once again. And the final parameter allows you to choose whether you want the number to be a decimal or an integer. So let's imagine we want an integer number, we'll put 1. As you can see, we received the whole array of random numbers, and all of them are in the range between 2 and 12. If we change the last parameter to 0, again we will see the random numbers in the same range, however now all of them will be decimal. With this toolbox we might be fully covered when we deal with creation of random numbers. Now let's move to the creation of random elements. Let's imagine that we have a list of fruits, and we have 5 of them in this example, and the task is to create the range of random fruits. What we need to do is the following. We will split this exercise in two. At the first step, we will create random fruit IDs in the first column, and in the second step we will add the names of the fruits. Okay, so we have 5 elements of the fruits. We need to create a sequence of random numbers from 1 to 5. We can do it using the formula rand between, which is between 1 and 5. Then we need to expand the formula, and as you can see we have random numbers from 1 to 5. Now we will simply use the formula index to add the fruit name. Don't forget to log the element. We expand the formula, and as you can see we have the list of random elements. Whenever we have number 2 in column E, we have fruit apple, which is the second one in our list. Since we use the volatile formula, again if we push any refresh, the list will be updated, and sometimes it can give you very unexpected results. Don't be surprised by this. When you deal with small number of random elements, the repetition is quite a common case. In order to understand better how we can use the tools discussed before, let's go to a more complex example. Let's imagine we want to create the list of random telephone numbers. As you may remember, each telephone number contains exactly 11 digits. And let's imagine our exercise that the first 2 digits can represent one of the 3 countries, and the following 3 numbers will represent one of the 2 operators. The remaining part of 6 digits may be completely random. We'll combine our telephone number with limitations piece by piece. Let's start with the first 2 elements, which is creation of the country ID and operator ID. We will use exactly the same technique we used in the previous example. We have only 3 elements for country code, so we need to use the formula rand between 1 and 3, and we have 2 operators, so we use exactly the same formula. Random numbers between 1 and 2. Now we need to copy this formula. Now, using the formula index, we need to get the exact elements. The same approach we're going to repeat for the operator. As usual, don't forget to log the cells. So if we copy this formula down, we manage to create the random combination of the first 5 elements. As for the reminder, it's a 6-digit number, so we need to use the formula rand between 1 and 6 nines. In this case, there is a chance that we will have the numbers which have less than 6 digits, and we need to gross it up to 6 digits, and we need to do a certain overlay of it. So we use the formula text open the bracket, and at the end we need to use the format, which should contain 6 zeros. If we do it this way and now copy the formula once again, we will see that for the numbers which has less than 6 digits, at the beginning Excel will add zeros. So as a result, all numbers on this list have 6 digits. And the last step is to combine all of these elements. So we use concatenate formula and simply combine them one by one. Again, we copy the formula. First step is to convert this combination into the number. We need to add +0 at the end of the formula. Now we know that in the phone number column we have exactly the numbers. As you can see, they're not really readable, so we need to change the formatting of this column. In order to do so, we need to select all the telephone numbers, right click, go to Format Cells. In the pop-up menu, in the number section, we need to go to the custom option, and instead of 0, let's put +00 dash 3 zeros, 3 zeros, and 3 zeros. Push OK, voila. Now telephone numbers have the common format. By now we considered multiple examples of how to create random numbers or random elements. In all of these examples, we trusted that Excel's algorithm of creating the random numbers is working correctly. But as you know, any proper analyst always trusts but verifies. Let's see how can we verify whether our random elements are really random. Let's go back to our initial example with the foods. We have 5 elements, and let's imagine we already created the random list of 20 elements. In this example, we have 5 elements. So the expected probability of appearance for each of them is around 20%. Let's see what does Excel give us. First of all, let's count the instances of each element's appearance. The criteria would be this food. Now we need to calculate the probability. We simply divide the number of instances by the total number of the elements. As you can see, the resulting probabilities are a bit far from 20%. You can refresh a few times, some of the results will be better, some of them will be worse. It's hard to expect that with only 20 elements on the list we will get good results. Let's try to extend our array to a bigger amount of elements. After we extended the array, we have around 300 elements in total. And as you can see, the probabilities become much better. Even if we run refresh a few times, they all stay very close to 20%. It's not the bad result. Using this simple test, you can always have a simple control of the quality of the data you're using. Random numbers generation is one of the examples of how powerful the Excel is if we are creative. Hence, I encourage you always to try new things in Excel. That's it for today. Thank you and see you in the next one.